Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. So with only 5 characters remaining, we're just doing the last 5 in order so you don't have to watch me reroll over and over again, and next up we've got the Builder. The Builder, I think, is a potential win streak killer here. We're on a 57 win streak in this series so far, which is pretty cool. But the Builder is definitely one that could end that, because there's a couple weapons here that are basically auto losses. If we roll a melee weapon, like Plank or Brick, that could be extremely difficult. Not impossible, because we do get extra engineering modifications to boost the weapon damage of those weapons, but very difficult, because our turret will never get upgraded. And if we get an elemental weapon, especially Wand, the burning damage is almost impossible to upgrade for this character, because buying percent damage and elemental damage is almost impossible with the lower damage modifiers. So let's roll. We're hoping to avoid those things that I just mentioned, and let's see what we get. Alright, well, we got the submachine gun. That's obviously a great roll. I used revolvers for my class guide to this character, so submachine gun I'm pretty happy with, and that should let us just be quite strong. When you are playing with the Builder, you want to pick up materials in the first couple waves. So you can feed your turret consumables, but you want to pick up feed your turret materials, but you want to pick up as many materials as possible in the first few waves so that you can get your character's weapon sets and damage and economy rolling. I'm gonna roll here and look for harvesting. Although we have some harvesting already, we still want to get more, because this is the way that our character itself will get money. Once we start feeding all our material drop to the turret, we still want to be improving our actual character itself by picking up defenses especially, and of course upgrading our weapons, rolling for cursed weapons and things like that. So you need to have relatively high harvesting to make sure that you've still got some income even after the turret is starting to eat all your money. Propeller hat I'm actually going to pass on here. 10 luck would certainly be nice, but we're really looking for things that boost our economy specifically in the early game, and by economy I mean material income rather than things like propeller hat. Lifesteal is also really important, so we're going to pass on plant, because of course SMG is the best weapon for lifestealing in the game, so very, very useful for us to have just free healing from that. I could just buy the book here. It just gives us an extra slot, and it only costs 9, so it's sort of like re-rolling a couple shop slots for 9 materials. So we're just going to buy the book right away just because it's so cheap. I'll lock the duct tape and I'm going to keep rolling, buy another submachine gun and roll again. Unfortunately missed on the last one, but SMG is a pretty expensive weapon, so 3 and we bought a book as well. So finding 3 is certainly not bad. Of course, submachine gun does have the problem on this map specifically that the mantis shrimp have the damage reduction, so it's worse against them, and it's a ranged weapon. So while submachine gun of course is still an extremely powerful weapon, it is less good on this map than on Crash Zone. Still top tier obviously, but definitely a slight difference there. One great thing about playing the Builder is it doesn't matter if you miss some material pickups, because it all just goes into the turret, so anything that you don't pick up, you don't even lose any value on, because you end up just building it into the turret. I'm still going to roll for harvesting. We could take engineering or armor here, but I really want early harvesting. Great, so we found 5 more, that's perfect. Cute monkey, we're not going to take because we have lowered pickup radius and we don't intend to pick up materials, so we obviously don't benefit from the healing from that. Piggy bank is kind of interesting for this character, but you pretty much can't save money on the Builder. It's very, very difficult, so it does give us a way to potentially fix the economy for this character. And it is a wave 2 piggy bank, which is kind of wild. I'm very tempted to give this a try. I don't know if it's actually correct, because it means that we're going to spend a lot of waves not getting stronger, which is what this character really needs to do in the early game. But if we buy the piggy bank right now, or I could wait until next wave to buy it, because I would only get 1 material out of buying it right now. So I think what we're going to do is lock it, and we're going to roll for submachine guns. And we'll lock another submachine gun. And then I think we will try the wave 3 piggy bank strategy. And just sort of see what happens. Normally, I would skip this item, especially on this character that has a worse economy, doesn't want to save money. But this is a way that we can gain income that doesn't involve having to pick up materials. So it's kind of interesting for the builder. And when you get it this early, it's got to be reasonably powerful. Finding 2 boxes there also helps a lot. That's going to help give us a lot more strength without having to invest in picking up materials because we need, or spending those materials because we need to save them for our piggy bank. I'll take both of these items. That's great. And then, yeah, I'll take 4 engineering here. Of course, that boosts the damage of our submachine gun turret an awful lot. We're going to roll here, or I could just take 2 lifesteal. We will need healing eventually. So I could roll for harvesting, because 8 harvesting would be a really big deal, and again, would help with the piggy bank. Or I could just take 2 lifesteal. I think rolling for harvesting is just going to be too good. I could take armor or engineering as well, but if we find that harvesting, it's just so powerful. So yeah, we'll take 8 more harvesting here, then I'm going to buy the piggy bank, and I could buy this 1 submachine gun. That probably pays off. So even though we aren't building a bank for the piggy bank, or we're only getting 10 materials off piggy bank, we do still need to upgrade our weapons. So I'm going to buy that one. And then we'll go to wave 4 and just see if we can build a huge bank and start making that money. When you get compound interest rolling very early, it of course can pay off. And this character does have the bonus power of just having an extra weapon off the start. So normally the characters that are best with piggy bank are the ones where you are strong enough that you don't need to upgrade your character at all. Builder does need to invest early in especially defensive stats, because otherwise you're going to just fall behind in terms of being able to stay alive in the late game. But because we have the extra turret, we don't have to invest as much in offensive stats in the early game. So I think we can get away with trying to boost our piggy bank income early. Here I'm going to take the movement speed, and then I'm just going to go straight into the next wave with 200 materials, and we can start the piggy bank chain rolling. So typically I advise avoiding piggy bank because it takes many waves to pay off, and you often lose money just by having your character not improve in power. I mean, you can see here, because I didn't get my character stronger at all, we are struggling to clear this wave a bit. So we're losing the income that we would have gotten from clearing this wave, especially because we are submachine guns and this wave has a lot of mantis shrimp. We are killing things a lot slower than we otherwise would. I'm going to reroll here, and I was hoping for some engineering. Roll again. I'll take 10 luck here, and then I need lifesteal more than regen, so we'll do 1 more reroll. I guess I'll just take 5 more harvesting. That can improve our income as well. I'll take the submachine gun. I'm going to take the duct tape, and then I think we're going to hold on 300 materials here. I could start upgrading my turret. I think we will go to a level 2 SMG and just upgrade the turret, and that should increase its damage a bit. Normally at this point is when I would start feeding money to the turret, but we're going to do that a little later in this run because I need to get the piggy bank bonus off the ground. Genuinely not sure if this is working out. We'll have to see in a couple waves. But this is a really interesting way to play the character, and not one that I've tried before. So given that we rolled a really strong weapon, I just wanted to try something new. Any lifesteal would be so good for our survivability, so I definitely need that. And of course, our max HP is very low right now, so I'm definitely at risk from that as well. I'm going to take the engineering here just to improve our damage output. And so now we've got 500 in the bank, so I'm going to hold on 500 as my sort of piggy bank. We'll buy the take. I can't afford to buy Ritual because it decreases our engineering, so let's reroll here. I'm looking for upgraded submachine guns, but I'll lock the Broken Mouth and the Bat, and we'll go into the next wave with 520 materials. Now I'm going to stop picking up materials and start feeding them to the turret so that we can upgrade our turret. I wanted to get the one level 2 weapon just to make the turret a little bit more effective, because basically upgrading from a level 1 to a level 2 there was worth double, right? It upgraded my actual gun, and it upgraded the gun that the turret has. So even though we haven't improved the turret's capabilities at all yet, it still just was worth 2 weapons to do that. So even though we went down to 5 SMGs held, we still got more value out of doing that than we would have otherwise. And now I believe our turret has gotten to level 2. I'm definitely taking the leather vest here. That's great. And I need to take some max HP as well, because we're only at 18. So our turret is now level 2 and is firing 2 projectiles at once. That's awesome. I'll take the Broken Mouth. I'll take Bat. I'll pick up Lumberjack Shirt as well, because that means that our character's attacks can kill the trees. Whistle is probably worth buying also, and then we're going to reroll here. I'll take... I want all of these items, but I'm going to take this submachine gun first, and then, again, we're going to hold on 500 materials for the piggy bank, so that it can just give us 100 extra income every wave. So now I just need enough lifesteal, armor, and max HP that we can survive the elite. Or enough damage to kill the elite, but I don't know that we're going to get that, because unless we find a lot of engineering, our damage output from the turret is not going to be that high. And we don't have any piercing shots, so the turret, while good at killing stuff, is not killing things as quickly as it could, and is going to be wasting a lot of damage on things that aren't the elite. I'm going to try to kill that curse alien. Can we get the loot alien here as well? Nice. It ran through the middle of our turret, so we were able to kill it. And there we go. I'll take a gentle alien. This is mostly for the max HP, but also helps our damage output, of course. Take the duct tape. We'll take the jerky. I'm going to roll here. Recycling machine. We have 20 luck. So I'll buy the recycling machine. That's an investment in economy, which we don't need as much because we have this piggy bank, but still probably worth it. Decomposing flesh this is a way to get a lot of lifesteal, so I'm going to pick this up as well. I will not buy the lost duck, probably, because 50 on something that doesn't make our character stronger or more resilient is just a little bit too dangerous. And then again, we're just going to hold on 500 materials and go to the next wave. We should be able to get our... I need to focus some damage on this thing. Or there will just be too many enemies on the field. We should be able to get our damage to the point where... Or we should be able to get our turret to level 3, where it fires 3 projectiles, by the time we fight the elite, which is my main goal here. The early harvesting that we got is also making sure that we actually level up, which is really nice. Because, of course, the money we get from Piggy Bank doesn't help us level, and because you're feeding all your materials to the turret, you usually do not level very effectively on the builder. So the fact that we got all that early harvesting is really important to make sure that we can continue to level up. I need to play around the turret if possible. This is by far the hardest wave for this character because there's just so many enemies on the field. So I'm trying to run away and rely on our lifesteal and just position so that we don't die here. Yeah, we'll definitely take 3 armor. That can help keep us alive for sure. Nail, this is pretty nice because this will actually mean that our weapons do damage, which is very difficult. Obviously, we're going to lose ranged damage, but we only lose 0.5 ranged damage because of the damage modification reduction on the builder. And this means that all of our weapon attacks do way more damage. So we get the nail here, and that actually means that our submachine guns are now doing respectable damage themselves. The builder's turret, unfortunately, doesn't benefit from the scaling from the nail. It's still 60% for the range damage scaling from the submachine gun, but it's still really good here. Compass, of course, is going to be great as well. Movement speed will help us dodge, and engineering, very, very important. And then I don't want the alien tongue because it makes it harder to control whether we're giving money to the turret. Then I'm going to roll here. This is pretty interesting. Blood donation is a lot of income. And we've got 3 lifesteal already to try to regenerate. I think I am going to get greedy, but that means I'm going to give up a little bit on the piggy bank this wave and buy the lifesteal as well from the bat. So 5% lifesteal, that should be enough to offset the damage from the blood donation. And then I'm going to reroll one more time. Lighthouse, of course, is absolutely incredible for this character. I think if I buy it now, we still just make more money than I would from the piggy bank. And then I'm going to pass on all of these items and use our piggy bank. The 19 regeneration, or 19 engineering from the lighthouse is just going to make this builder's turret go absolutely bananas. I actually need to move away from my turret here because I need to lifesteal. The extra healing from the jerky is really important. So now I need to build some regeneration if possible to offset the blood donation. But the fact that my guns actually do damage now is, because of the nail, is really, really helpful for this character. Making sure to just like pick up consumables even when we're at full health because we have jerky. So that gives us the regeneration to offset the incoming damage from the blood donation. Also, because I'm reliant on lifesteal, that's why I haven't combined my level 2 weapons into a level 3 weapon yet. Reinforced steel, sure. Obviously, we benefit from the engineering, and the 0.5 ranged damage does make up for the 0.5 ranged damage that we lost. Not that important, but still useful. I'm going to re-roll this, and I could take some luck. I could take some movement speed. I think I'm just going to grab movement speed to make it a little easier to dodge around the elite here. So here we are going to combine to a level 3 SMG and then buy this level 1. We're kind of giving up on the piggy bank a little bit. Yeah, actually, we're going to go to a level 4 submachine gun here. And then I will roll. And I don't actually need to level my SMGs at all past level 1. So I'm just going to buy the level 1 here. And the goblet, this is a pretty good way to heal as well. So I'm going to pick this up. And then I could reroll. So the 16 damage from the level 2 SMG is only 1 more than from the level 1. And it attacks at exactly the same speed and everything. So leveling our submachine guns doesn't matter because the only damage from them comes from the nail. So once we have one at level 4 for our turret, that's all we really care about. Do I want to reroll? I could maybe find an HP item. I probably should. I think the piggy bank was worth 500 materials, and so I think at this point we're kind of giving up on it. But I missed. Do I want more movement speed? I don't need more than 17, so let's just go to the next wave. Of course, we get by far the hardest elite for this character, so I need to hope that we kill it really fast, and we did, and get our full heal. If we hadn't found the like nail and lighthouse there, I probably lose, because that elite is really difficult for this character, because it starts attacking you before the turret even spawns. So I just like walked into 2 attacks there. And with the blood donation, that's pretty dangerous. I do need to find a little more max HP and some more, just some more healing in general, regeneration ideally, in order to offset the blood donation. But the blood donation is very helpful for continuing to improve the power of our character, so I'm certainly happy we have it. Want to get the turret to level 4, but I will still pick up some materials because I'd like to build our bank back up for the piggy bank at least a little bit. Potato is awesome here. Of course, that's a lot of different stats that we want. Obviously, the damage doesn't matter, but the regen, lifesteal, move speed, dodge, armor, all of that is very good. So we're very happy to find that item. And then I'm going to reroll here, and we'll just take 2 more armor. I don't need a higher level submachine gun. I do want the acid. I do want the toolbox. But I think we can get away with just waiting 1 more wave and getting a little bit of money back for the piggy bank. Defective steroids is worth 2 HP, but that's a pretty bad ratio. 50 for 2 HP, so I think we're going to pass on that. Goblet does work when the turret kills something for us, by the way, so we still benefit from the healing from Goblet. And my luck is high enough that I can use the consumable healing from the jerky pretty reliably to heal whenever we're taking too much damage from the blood donation. I'm not picking up these consumables because if I take a hit, I want to be able to heal them back up immediately. This is like the best luck on builder I've ever seen. This is one of the strongest builder runs I've ever had. Finding Lighthouse and Nail for this character is kind of unreal. Alright, up to 500 materials here. Yeah, I'll take the wheat. Actually, no. I think the 10 harvesting, I'd rather just have the money in the short term, because the money, of course, will turn into piggy bank income as well. So the harvesting is not that valuable. Then we'll take the scar, because I still want to level, and we'll recycle the fried rice. Insanity doesn't do anything for us, so we're going to recycle that as well. All right, we got a cursed submachine gun. The luck continues. That is awesome. So I'm going to... So I actually don't know if I buy the cursed submachine gun and it's level 3, will the builder's turret be smart enough to use that one over the level 4? Let's do some science. If it's not, then I will just have to sell the level 3 SMG. So, or the level 4 SMG. So we're going to combine and we'll buy this one. And so now it is doing 56 times 3, the... and the range is scaling. I actually don't... okay, yeah, so it's scaling at 80% of our ranged damage, so it's still using the level 4 submachine gun rather than the cursed submachine gun, because it would be scaling at 109% of our engineering if it was using the cursed one. So unfortunately, I have to recycle this level 4 SMG so that it understands to use the cursed one. And then I'm going to lock the adrenaline, because I actually do want to build dodge, but what of these do I want to buy? I think we can actually get away with taking 1 more level of just maximum piggy bank income, and then we'll just buy all those items before we fight the elite next wave. It is unfortunate that we had to sell out of our level 4 gun there to make sure that our turret was using the right one, but obviously we want it using the cursed one. I can pick up materials again because our turret is at maximum level. It's much less important to upgrade it. Still useful, of course, so I'm not unhappy about leaving some materials on the ground, but now I can start upgrading my character again a little bit more. This is such a wild run. This is like one of the best use cases for piggy bank I've ever seen. We got Nail and Lighthouse. We got a cursed submachine gun for our builder's turret. Just incredible luck on this run. Gambling token I will take. We are building the adrenaline as well, so I'll pick that up. And then I already have 10% lifesteal, so I could take 3% more, but I don't really need it. I think I'm just going to reroll here and look for... I was hoping for max HP, but I'll take 4 engineering. Is too good to pass. And then here I'll take 9 max HP. Because that way we can get to about 60 max HP pretty quickly, which is what you want on Abyssal Terrors. Take the acid, toolbox, and adrenaline here, and then I'm going to reroll. Pick up another submachine gun to make sure that we've got 4, or got 6. So this is actually kind of interesting, because I could combine to a level 4 cursed SMG. I think I might do that, but I'm going to reroll here. Do I want more XP gain? Probably not. We've already got 20%, and we aren't going to get that much in the way of additional potential levels before the end of the run. So we're going to roll past that. Pile of books. Now we can critically hit with our builder's turret. That is awesome as well. So let's pick that up. We'll take the toolbox, of course. Oh, I obviously should have bought the coupon first. I don't know what I was thinking there. So lost some materials for sure. And then I'll take the bag. That'll pay off pretty quickly. I'm hoping for another SMG so that we can feasibly combine and get to the level 4 cursed. And then we'll take this one. I'm fine playing with 5. I didn't want to play with only 4 because we're so reliant on lifesteal, so we need all of our weapons. And then I'm going to roll again, and yeah, I'll take a cursed duct tape. Tentacle actually works really well now because we have the pile of books, so that can be a lot of healing. But I think the cursed duct tape and... No, I'll take the tentacle over the lemonade, but we'll lock lemonade as well. At this point, I'm just kind of giving up on the piggy bank, I think, because we just need to kill enemies as fast as possible. So, obviously, with a level 4 cursed SMG, the elite just melts. This run is so awesome. I am going to pick up some materials here because I do want to continue to buy items and improve my character. We've gotten really lucky on crate drops. I don't have... My luck isn't that high, and I feel like we've gotten a lot of crates this run. Which is nice, because we have the recycling machine as well. Was that just another one just dropped there? We got 3 random crates this wave already. Sure, we'll take a book. Obviously not the best thing you could find in a crate, because it's worth like 30 materials, but still pretty good. I don't mind losing some attack speed. I'll take the max HP. Extra stomach, obviously, going to be excellent. We will get a decent amount of HP. Now, it's worse, of course, because we have the blood donation, so we won't always be at max HP. I think this character can afford to take Starfish. It's obviously a little bit dangerous, but we're in such good shape, and this run is so ridiculous that I would feel bad not going off with the Starfish. Then I'm going to roll here, and I'll just take 6% more dodge just to make sure that we're a little safer. We'll buy the submachine gun, and I'll take the lemonade. And now I actually do want to buy crit chance, because we have the pile of books, so our turret can crit as well. Roll here, and I'll take another bag. I will continue to buy gambling tokens to boost our dodge, and I could re-roll, but I guess I'll take the extra couple materials off the piggy bank and go to wave 15. You don't need to go absolutely crazy on piggy bank. You can just get 500 materials out of it and treat it as a normal economy item like we did here. You don't have to run banks of 2,000-3,000 materials for the entire run, and in fact, usually you shouldn't. So I think the main thing that I am looking for here is just enough regeneration to offset the blood donation so that if something weird happens, I still can heal back to full very easily. Also, of course, that will keep me at full health for the extra stomach and for the extra HP from extra stomach, because otherwise we're kind of reliant on lifestealing to full before the end of the wave to get bonus max HP, and there, in fact, we didn't. So I need to try to find enough regeneration to make sure that we are getting some value out of the extra stomach. I'll take the metal detector. I will take the sunglasses. I am reducing my armor quite a bit, but the crit chance is still really good. And I don't think we need the acid here because we have all of the value from our extra stomach, assuming that we can get that online. And then we will take the lure here. So the combination of blood donation and jerky is turning off the bonus HP from this mostly at this point, but if I get a little more regeneration, we'll get that back. I'll lock the book here. I'll lock the reinforced steel. Wheelbarrow we don't really need at this point, so we're just going to pass on that. Was trying to time it, so I picked that up and got the 1 bonus HP, but I'm not going to play too hard around the extra stomach value, other than just trying to buy some regeneration. At this point, the range on our turret is so high that it's just wiping things out across the map, which is awesome. SMG is really good for builder, obviously just because it's a great weapon, but also it has a lot of synergy with this character because one of the main challenges for the builder is coming up with enough defensive stats because you're not improving the strength of your character for most of the run. You're just building the turret. So having enough healing and defensive stats is really difficult. SMG totally solves that problem because it's secretly the best healing item in the game, because you can build just a tiny amount of lifesteal and get effectively infinite healing with it. Here I'll just take the engineering, and then I'll buy all of these items, and then do a reroll here. Baby squid, how likely is that to pay off in terms of regeneration? Probably it's worth like 3 regen. So I think I'm going to pass on the baby squid and just buy the toolbox here so that we're killing the elites even faster. I don't need any of these items for that reason, so let's roll, and then I'll, of course, lock a Cursed Peaceful Bee and a helmet as well, all stats that we want. Then let's try to pull the elite over here into our turret. Basically, you want to move to the opposite side of the turret from where an elite spawns, so that if it's one of the elites that runs straight towards you, it's going to run into your turret before it runs into you. I did that wrong on the first elite that we fought. I stood on the turret instead of moving away from the elite spawn, because I didn't see the red X for where the elite was going to spawn. So that's why I put myself in a lot of danger there by taking those extra early hits. If I just moved away, then I would have been much, much safer. The one thing that this build is missing is piercing shots, or bouncing shots would also be awesome. But we pretty much have everything else we could possibly want for this run. I guess I'll pick up some materials here, because our turret, of course, I can keep making it stronger, but I do want to get at least some money for my character. Every ranged weapon's 5th projectile has +3 projectiles. Now, this normally doesn't work on Construct. I actually don't know if it works on the Builder turret. So I'm going to take this and just see how it goes. Because I'm not sure at all whether the seashell works on the turret. Let's roll here, and I'm going to roll again. I could take range. Range is not terrible when you're relying on lifesteal and don't have a lot of defensive stats, but I think I'm just going to roll for stats that we care about more. We'll take some more max HP here. Then we'll take the Peaceful Bee and the helmet. Alloy gives me crit chance and engineering, but at the cost of dodge, so I think we'll pass on that. I'll take the Peaceful Bee, take the pencil. Ugly Tooth, that could maybe help against the bosses, but I think we can do better. Weird Food. I do have 4 consumable heal, but still more healing is always better, so we'll pick that up. Then I'm going to roll a couple times. Treasure Map probably will not pay for itself before the end of the run, but Tentacle will give me a lot of healing, so we'll grab that as well. Alright, so we're going to keep an eye on whether it's firing extra projectiles. It doesn't look like it. It's hard to tell because it shoots so fast. But I don't think it's working with the seashell. Someone watch back in slow motion and tell me whether it's working or not. Normally, seashell doesn't work with constructs, so it's not surprising that it's not working, but it would be cool because it should adapt the stats of your guns, and one of the stats of my guns now is that every 5th projectile shoots +3. Nice, got that loot alien. I don't know why I just held still there and took that hit. That actually cost me a bunch of HP to do that. I'm going to recycle Cyclops Horn. We don't care about our damage. Tree will take Boxing Glove. I'm going to recycle. Knockback isn't totally ridiculous for this character, but it's still not something that we actually care about, especially at this point. Then we're going to roll here, and I'll just take more engineering. The Cursed Baby Squid, that could have been good much earlier, but unfortunately doesn't do much for us now. Same with the Greek Fire. I'm going to roll here. Pumpkin, we don't have piercing shots, so the pumpkin doesn't do anything. So I'll roll past that. I could take Energy Bracelet for crit chance, but 154 for 4% is just not very good. And Triangle of Power I could buy for 1 armor. It would obviously reduce the damage of my character, but not by that much, because we're only losing half a damage per second on it. So it would reduce the damage of my actual weapon attacks, but just give me 1 armor. But 180 for 1 armor, I think we can do better. Like, for example, 54 for 1 armor. Roll here. I'll take a Whetstone just for a little bit of extra safety. Handcuffs doesn't do anything for us. And for 48, I'm just going to save my money here because we weren't re-rolling into anything, so we'll just get a little bit of extra piggy bank value. One of the really nice things about this character is peace of mind on wave 19. You don't have to worry about picking up materials because they'll just get vacuumed up by the builder's turret, so you don't have to care at all about whether you are leaving materials on the ground. For most characters, of course, if you leave anything on the ground on wave 19, then you get no value out of it because it just disappears forever. But for the builder, not so. Picking up a couple extra hit points there. If you pick up a bunch of consumables at once, you're going to get hit points out of them because the jerky healing will still bring you back to full. So even if the grabbing them one at a time wouldn't necessarily trigger the extra stomach, when they drop in groups like that, you can always get some hit point value, even with this specific setup. I took a hit there, so I needed to heal back to full. We also have way more HP than we need. 85 is more than enough. Let me re-roll here, and great, 12% dodge. We're almost at dodge cap now. Eye Patch, I believe, does work. So this is piercing shots and more crit chance. So I'm going to pick this up and then roll. I'll take the compass. Not bother with spicy sauce. At this point, Energy Bracelet might be fine because crit chance is still relevant. But I think we can re-roll here. Take the engineering. Roll again. Sad Tomato, yeah, that will just offset the blood donation damage, and we'll heal back to full pretty quickly. I'll go up to 20 movement speed just to make it a little bit easier to dodge, and then I don't want any of these, so let's re-roll a bit, but I guess I'll just take the Broken Mouth just for a little bit of extra safety, and then re-roll one more time. Nothing here that we want, so let's go on to wave 20. So just running away a little bit and letting my turret kill the bosses, and there we go. We have defeated the builder on Abyssal Terrors. Obviously a pretty lucky weapon roll, but this was such a ridiculous run regardless. Let's take a look at our items. So 379 saved on the coupons, even though I accidentally lost about 20 materials by buying them in the wrong order. So not 20, but a bunch of materials by buying items in the wrong order. So coupon still, of course, paying for itself very well. And part of that is because we had 777, wow, lucky sevens on the piggy bank. I guess we just got lucky in every way on this character. So the piggy bank worked out really well for this character. We were able to buy it early, and because we had the extra weapon from the builder, it didn't cost us that much in the way of income. I think on wave 6 or 7, whichever one that was, where I was saying we're losing money this wave, it was painful, but the rest of the time we were still clearing the wave pretty effectively, so piggy bank worked out very well. This was a very cool use case for piggy bank, and I really I'm glad that I bought it. I was not sure if it was going to work out because I hadn't really tried it on this character before, but it ended up being excellent. Anything else? The lumberjack shirt is nice, just killing the trees more often is good. Jerky, of course, was excellent as always. Recycling Machine for 341, pretty good. The Nail, amazing. 11 lifesteal off the Decomposing Flesh. Having Submachine Gun and Decomposing Flesh, if you just buy this one item, that's all the healing you ever need, pretty much. So obviously that works out very well. The blood donation was good. It did cost me some max HP, but as you can see, we ended the run with 93 max HP, which is about 30 more than you need. So you don't have to get 8 HP every round from the extra stomach in order for those items to be good. 222 health recovered from the goblet is pretty amazing, actually. Adrenaline never healed us because we basically weren't taking hits, but with 56 dodge, it's still a good item. Pile of books was awesome. 360 on the bags, even though we got those late. 44 healing on the tentacles. 26 HP from extra stomach, so you can see, even in this setup that's basically the worst possible for extra stomach, where we have low regeneration, jerky, and blood donation, making the extra stomach significantly worse. We still got a massive amount of hit points out of it, and so it ended up being really valuable. Starfish, of course, was awesome because we didn't die, so anytime you can buy this and not die, it's going to be great. Metal detector for 80 materials, not bad, and of course it gives us stats we want also. Anything else? The seashell, of course, was bad because it doesn't work with the builder's turret, but that I just bought for science. And the turret itself, it dealt 61k damage in the last wave, which obviously is way more than our weapons, but our weapons were keeping up. When you get Nail on this character, your weapon damage actually becomes quite relevant. So that was one of the things that was really nice about this run, was that we got the Nail, making our character wildly more powerful itself, as well as the turret. All right, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this run. This was a truly wild one. And of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. 4 characters left to go. Let's see if we can get there.